Howdy folks, here for a weekend shave. This is the soap of the day from Italian Barber. I have already taken some and scooped it out, but that's what the soap looks like. You can see it's not too tough to push your finger in it. It's a fairly soft soap, not a croak though necessarily. The bowl that I'm using today is from the Distinguished Goat. This is what it looks like on the outside, and yep, already got some whipped up. It's got grooves in there inside. Use the RazoRock Big Bruce. Kind of see what kind of lather gets whipped up in a bowl. You can find the Distinguished Goat on Etsy. He also has more than just bowls. He also has soap. Got the Allen block, complete with the rubber band. Aftershave, I believe it's pronounced Bravura. And off camera, in the past few days, this is been using Cremo's beard oil. See how that works out for me. Not that I was having any issues with the beard balm, just trying something different. And today the razor single edge is going to be a gem bar. And the blade that I have, it just pops open like that. I have a POW blade inside there. This will be the second use on this POW blade. There we go. I've already put a hot towel to the face. Took some of the blue water from the bowl, put it on the face. I'm going to go ahead and wet the face real quick and get started. Last time I used the POW blade, it worked rather well. I'm not going to try to, I can say, stretch the number of shaves on that blade. I've got, in other words, enough of them that I don't need to try to stretch them, not like some of my other blades. I had found a place online for blades for the Micromatic. If you're unfamiliar with them, there are some blades. They're not made anymore as far as I know, so whatever you get is whatever's available from, I guess you might say, new old stock in these blades. Even though this gem Micromatic is a single edge razor, but they made a double edged blade for it, reversible if you will. Kind of unique, cool. I ordered one just to have, just kind of a neat thing that from days gone by. Here's pass number one with the grain. This wooden bowl that I'm using is walnut and cherry. It's the only wooden bowl that I have. I should say the only wooden shaving bowl I have. Those grooves seem to, at least they seem to help out. I haven't tried one in a wooden bowl that's got a smooth bottom, but this one here with those grooves inside, it does seem to whips up a pretty good lather. I'm sure the brush had something to do with it too. If I remember correctly, Big Bruce is I think it's a 26mm knot. Most of these synthetic brushes are getting to be somewhat inexpensive, depending on what kind of handle you like. I think I'll go ahead and do a video tomorrow with the DE razor that I'll be using, because to me this razor is a rather unique looking razor. I'll show it to you at the end of the video. I guess you might say it's a teaser for tomorrow. It'll be my first time shaving with it, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes, because it's typical in some manners, but in other ways it's not. If you're unfamiliar with this line of Italian Barber soaps, this one here is more or less for the ones that might be a little sensitive to the fragrance that might be added to the soap, sensitive skin if you will. Didn't necessarily buy it for the sensitive skin part, as opposed to for the scent, as well as the fact that it was on sale at the time for a whole $2.50. In other words, you can't pass it up. I think I'm trying to get a pimple right there, so I'm going to try to work around it. Just noticed it this morning. Go ahead and wet the face again and get ready for pass number 2. Once again, I like shaving with these single edge razors. The blades, to me the shave is fine. It's a different feel with the with a thicker blade, but with me shaving with the feather supers, I've kind of gotten used to the blade feel of a thicker blade. It's just a different feel to me. It's not that I'm getting a bad shave by any means. It's just a different feel to it. So if you're coming from a DE razor and you're for the first time going to try a gem razor, yeah, the blade feel is going to be different. The feedback is going to be different. Still get a good shave. For me, it wasn't that difficult to find the angle to hold the gem razor, especially one that's got the shape of a G-bar. In my opinion, that helps find the angle. That's a lot of lather. I've got plenty of lather, hordes of it. Alright, pass number 2, and this one's going across the green. Gotta see what I'm talking about with the way that it's shaped. I put my finger right up underneath there. It seems like a natural handle. At least it is for me. I have read where some folks feel like that the gems are a little too aggressive for them. I guess maybe it has something to do with the, like I say, getting used to shaving with a feather super. Maybe that's the reason why this blade doesn't bother me any, or this razor. I have a spot right there. That hair grows multiple ways in a relatively small area. I don't know, you may have seen some guys when they're doing their shaves might have a spot where you can kind of see when they're shaving, they kind of go every which direction on their pass. It does seem like if you have a hair that grows different directions in a small area, it always seems to be on the neck. A lot of feedback going across the grain because in some places that's actually going against the grain. For me, shaving with a single edge blade, injector, a gem, anything like that is it's a very relaxing shave. For me, it's less of the focus having to be like with a straight razor. The focus isn't quite as intense for me. It's a lot easier to get yourself with the straight razor if you're not paying close enough attention. You know, if you can tell, this soap is pretty creamy. It does have enough slickness where I've been able to go back over a spot without having to relather. I wouldn't get too terribly aggressive with it. At least for me, I can't. That's just asking for trouble later on. In other words, the redness that I usually get from shaving, especially back here around the sideburn area, and every once in a while, especially on this side of my neck. I guess you might say, as Paul H. would say, overshaving. Just like to get a smooth, comfortable shave. Not looking for a VVS by any means. For me, that seems like that's the quickest way to get in trouble with your face, where it gets good and irritated. This is really nice cream. Couldn't describe the scent to you. I tried a few times this morning. I can smell it. Smells great. I really like the scent. Can't even begin to describe it to you. Can't put my finger on it. The soap that I'll be using tomorrow, it has a matching aftershave, and I was unaware. I didn't know, and if it's been out on a video, I just didn't catch it. But it actually shows you your top notes, middle notes, and base notes of the aftershave. I thought that was great. It comes from Italy though, and so what little's in English, you know, I'll have to look it up to get some idea what the scent is. Not that educated, I guess you might say, when it comes to the scents. I know Douglas has got he's got a video on it, and I've watched it, but it was quite a while back, and probably need to refresh my memory on them. I don't know if the mic's picking up that feedback, but boy, a lot of feedback on the against the grain. It's kind of cool. Using this blade, this razor off and on, I'd have to say that the design of the G-bar was a good design, or still is a good design. Does make it tough though if you're trying to post it for a video, photograph at the beginning. They don't stand up very well. that part alone. That's about as good as that's going to get right there. I'm going to go ahead and rinse the face. I know in the beginning I talked about this razor. And it's just not the razor in my opinion, and I'll get more into it tomorrow. I'll go ahead and make a video tomorrow, providing everything works out fine. The weather here has changed drastically. I mean, when you go from the highs of 80s like yesterday, low tonight, it's supposed to be down around freezing. Actually this morning. Time wise, yeah, it's about 5:30 in the morning on a Saturday morning here in Oklahoma. It's just now starting to get kind of chilly. It's been warm, unseasonably warm. I think 2 days in a row our highs set records in the 80s. With this razor, not only the uniqueness of the razor, but it's also of course made right here in the States. Awesome. I really like that. I'm going to go ahead and see what the Allen Block has to say about the shave today. Might be in some of the typical spots. Get a little bit of stinging, but nothing major. You can kind of see that it's red right there. And it's not irritated, in other words, as in razor burn or anything like that. It's just a kind of a natural thing with me. For some folks, that's usually an indication that got a little aggressive with the shave. This can happen without me shaving, so sometimes it just helps bring it up for a moment. Which hazel I'm going to be using today, of course, is Humphreys. I did locate a few days ago. We were in TJ Maxx. My wife likes for me to go shopping with her, and I tried to be I try to walk with her. First parts of it is kind of hard. Some of these stores are quite boring, at least for a man. This man. Anyway, I found some lilac Humphreys. Shocked. They only had 2 bottles of it, and I got one of them. Alright. Go back over what I used today in the shave. Italian Barber. Like I said, this was on sale. Couldn't pass it up. Great buy. The brush I use is the Big Bruce RazoRock. See, I still got loads of lather. Let me scoop some of this out. Look at all that. I don't know if you can tell. That's what the bowl looks like on the inside with those grooves. I really like this bowl. I mean, you look at this. Lather for days. Razor I used, my Gem single edge razor, G-bar, and don't know if you can see, it does have the letter G right there. To me, I just think it's cool. Little things make a big difference. The razor I'll be using tomorrow is a DE razor. Comes from Max Metalworks. This is the razor. Kind of see what I'm talking about, the uniqueness of this razor. The handle is what I think they refer to as the Fatso series. This handle is aluminum. It's not brass, so it doesn't look as heavy. I mean, it's not as heavy as it looks, but just this razor is cool. I'm going to shave with it tomorrow for the first time. See what kind of shave it gives me. Love that top cap. And if you're wondering why I may have picked black and red, well, those are 2 colors of the Kansas City Chiefs, one of my favorite teams. At any rate, everybody stay safe, smooth shaves. Till next time.